Hello and welcome to this video. Today I'm going to be doing a stock analysis on Aurora Innovations. Now, if you like this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. And of course, remember, this isn't financial advice. This is purely entertainment and educational purposes. Now, if you don't know what Aurora Innovation does, it is quite exciting. They have just launched a self-driving truck that is actually driving on the road and making deliveries. Now, it's only driving between Dallas and Houston, but it's quite exciting. This is also why it has increased so much in price over the past year. Now, it is currently the 4th of May and 2025, and they just delivered in the start of April their first autonomous truck. Now, remember, I said the first, and it is also the only one at this time. They want about 8 to 10 by the end of the year, but of course, this is going to be a slow transition, and it's very, very exciting, to be honest, because imagine, say, a trucking company could fire every single one of its staff and buy trucks that could drive automotively. That would be insane. Because, of course, the main part of the cost is fuel and the trucks and then labor. The labor itself is quite expensive for these companies and it's relatively low margins. So imagine you fire, let's just say, a third of your fleet, well, then you can increase your margins by at least 33%. So it's very, very interesting at the moment. I also like Aurora because they have a lot of capital. They have over $1 billion in the bank, which means they are not in any problems or trouble at the moment financially, which has been the problem for a lot of their competitors in the autonomous driving industry. Now, it's very exciting that they actually managed to even get one to market, and I like the fact that they are leaded or headed up by a self-driving expert from Uber, Waymo, and the last one I can't remember exactly where he was from, but it was something similar. It was Tesla, of course. Tesla was also one of the, so three experts from Tesla, Waymo, and Uber. And recently, they also just made a partnership with NVIDIA, which is very exciting because, of course, they make GPUs which are needed for automotive driving. And I believe that they are primarily using AI, but I think that they're also transferring into maybe some LiDAR technology, which is quite interesting because a LiDAR can look through the rain, which AI can't, or fog, because of the way that LiDAR is using light penetrating radar. Now, as you can see, it is quite volatile, the stock. It trades up high and it trades low. Now, currently, it is sitting at quite high compared to previous prices. As you can see, more often than not, we do see it quite low, but of course, we have also seen it up in this price level before. So yeah, if you bought it down here, it would have been great, but currently it is sitting at 8.14. Now, I don't own any stock of this, but I am considering buying into it once I see some more deliveries, because currently I don't think, maybe it's a bit overpriced at the moment. I think some people are going to take some profits homes. I do think it is going to tumble a little bit. I think it is going to hit maybe these support levels we see down here. I do think maybe it's going to trade down here to about $5. I think that would be quite realistic. If it were to trade down here again, maybe it's just going to keep on rocking through once we get some more data, but it is very, very, very interesting. Also, just because there isn't really any real competitors in this market anymore, not for trucking. Of course, there's also some cars, which Aurora is also in, but their main focus is trucks because that has much more commercial use than single cars. Because chances are they're not going to get into the taxi space that's going to be dominated by Tesla self-driving as well as Uber self-driving. So very, very interesting, to be honest. Now, if we look at the earnings, as you can see, they lose money on every stock, but it's really not that much money. And once we see that chances are that they're going to make money, I think we are going to see the first money. Personally, I do think we're going to see it in 2027. And now you can see on the dividends here, they don't pay out any dividends, and that is of course down here, as you can see, they don't have generate any revenue at all, and that's because they haven't really started selling their product yet because they have been focused on developing it. Now they did have $11.7 billion of backing, and they currently have, as I said, over $1 billion in the bank, so they are not in trouble financially at the moment. Also, just the fact that they have now shown that their product is viable might lead to a new set of investors and partnerships forming. And of course, it's quite interesting that they can drive because they can also drive through the night and through the day, so they might even gain some more revenue off of that. So let's say you own a truck business and you also want to drive through the night, well then you no longer have a person who has to sleep. So just the fact you don't have to pay a salary and the fact that you can get your product faster, that means you can get more money from the customers. So very, very interesting. I love the case on this quite a lot, as you can hear. So I'm also, of course, biased. Now, as you can see, it hasn't been on the stock that long, but as you can see, some years, like in 22, were quite a horrible year, down by almost 90%. Now, some years, as you can see here, in 2021, we're up at 12, 25 this year, we're up at 33%, 24 up by almost 70%, and then 23 up by 276%, so quite a lot. As you can see, it is a quite high rise, and I think it is going to end the year out quite highly. I do think it is going to end out the year maybe in $13 or $14 or so. I think it's going to be a slow climb. I do think it's going to be volatile as hell. So if you don't like big jumps down and up, you don't own this stock, because you need to have ice in your stomach. You need to see that minus 80% and you need to see that plus 80% without panic selling or panic buying. Now, technicals on this for the day is a strong buy, and for the month it is still a strong buy. It even just gets better, just given the how it has been performing lately, and also just the fact that we have recently, of course, made this golden cross, as you can see right here. But as you can see, it is very, very volatile. We see several crosses within the past month. So, of course, as I said, it is quite a volatile stock. Now, the analyst rating on this are quite great, as you can see here. We only have 10 analysts on it, but then again, it is a relatively small company at 14. Okay, it's actually not that small anymore, at $14.8 billion. And as you can see here, we have 5 strong buy and 5 hold. So you see some about 15, the average is around 9.51, and as you can see, we have a lot of hold, and that's going to be the lowest ones down here at 3.5. I don't think it's unrealistic either, to be honest, because I do think it is going to be quite interesting. As you can see, they don't think, however, they're going to make money until not later than 2028. I do think we're going to see some better estimates in 2027. I think a lot of companies who want self-driving trucks are going to jump into it as fast as possible. So I think it's quite interesting. So I do think we are going to end up at about $14. I think in the long run, I think in mid 2030s, this is going to be worth a couple $100 easily if they continue on the journey they're at now. And I also like that we have so many analysts on it and that they are differed. Of course, I would see to like a bit more different, maybe some buy, maybe even a sell, just to make sure that we have proper analysts that isn't just saying what everybody else is saying. As personally, my experience is when there is too few or too many analysts on single price targets, it gets too hyped up and we see way too much volatility upwards and downwards. But overall, I am personally in the strong buy category. I do love this stock quite a lot. So yeah, that was my stock analysis on Aurora Innovations. Now, if you like this video, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And of course, remember to comment any other companies you want me to make a stock analysis of in the comment section below.